Taco Rancher here. Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to talk to you guys about these rigid 360 ditch lights. These are the 4-inch pods and they're backlit, as you can see. This one's in amber. When they're backlit, they run with the headlights, and they also have an auxiliary feature that when you hit your auxiliary button, they go full blast white. I love these things. I think they're fantastic. I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. They have a power output rating of 3060 lumens. They come in 3 different beam patterns. Flood, which is very wide angle and a lot of spill, that's going to be 67 degrees wide. You have a drive beam, which is 44 degrees wide, which is what I picked. And it gives you kind of a hybrid of long distance and medium distance, which is what I thought would work best for me. And then you've got the spot beam, which is about 17 degrees wide and narrow and kind of goes further. Like I said, I picked the drive because I feel like it gives a good mix of distance and width, and that's what I went with. I'm going to go ahead and show you what these look like when you hit the auxiliary switch. All right, I've hit the auxiliary switch. They're quite powerful. I'll do another video of them at night on the ranch so you can really see what they can do. But on this side here, on the passenger side, it's white. And on the other side, it's orange or amber. That's because I got these Amber Pro caps, which are pretty cool. They cause the wavelength of the light to get longer and flatter, which is what allows you to see through dust. I love these things. They're really, really good. Next, I'm going to show you how I installed them. All right, guys, let's talk about the install. We'll start with the hardware, which is super simple. Then we'll talk about the wiring. Okay, for the hardware, the first thing you got to do is install this bracket here. It's going to wrap around underneath and hook into these bolts underneath your hood. Super easy installation. Now, one note about this hardware, it's powder coated, but is also stainless steel. The portion right under here is stainless steel, but the rest of it is powder coated and stainless steel, which I thought was a really nice touch. One note for folks who have a Trailhunter: when you install these lights and when you open the hood, this pod might touch the snorkel, but we came up with a solution. Me and John at SPV, the guy who sold me these lights and the harnesses, which I'll talk about in a second, he sold me, or he actually just sent this to me. It was an additional piece here to bring the light this way a little bit, like about 1 inch. And that completely took care of the snorkel issue. There's absolutely no rubbing or hitting or anything whatsoever there. Okay, the harnesses. Again, I bought these lights from John over at SPV, and he sold me 2 really handy harnesses. Let's go over that. This is the wire that just comes off of the ditch light, but it hooks into this harness here, which I'm gonna talk you through. It kind of goes across, all the way across the firewall back there. And then right over here, it's got a Y, a little Y kind of comes off into a Y, and that hooks into this ditch light. Then it keeps going. You can kind of see here, keeps going, keeps going. And then there is a ground Y that comes off, a ground wire that comes off that bolts really conveniently into this bolt that's already part of the Tacoma. So there's that. It comes through here, and this red wire from this harness hooks into the Tacoma auxiliary cables. Those auxiliary cables, I picked the green one, which is the 10 amp. These lights actually make only 4 amp, but I wanted to give myself a fair bit of margin there. This white one comes off of this original harness that I started with way back there. Same harness, but then it hooks into this harness. And then this harness plugs into this plug right here. This plug right here is the very top plug of the headlight. It plugs into the harness, which is this gray part, is part of the harness. And then the harness has another plug just like this that goes right into the headlight. And that's all you got to do to get this thing wired up. This part here is what powers the backlight. And then this part here is what powers the auxiliary. Just wanted to end the video showing you guys how cool these lights look from inside the cabin. This isn't a full potency test because we're in just the middle of downtown Houston, but it does give you an idea of how they look, including that little halo around the caps, which kind of adds a nice touch Thanks for watching.